Good evening. My name is Pearson Crutcher, and I am the Executive Director of the Society of Entrepreneurs. I have the great honor of welcoming you to the Society of Entrepreneurs' 29th Annual Award Celebration. Entrepreneurs are known for thinking out of the box and creatively solving problems. Therefore, we decided that a global pandemic was not going to hold us back from welcoming our new members and honoring the 2021 Master Entrepreneur. Since we are unable to gather together, we are delighted to bring the celebration to you. We hope that you will enjoy our program and that you will be inspired by the entrepreneurial journeys of our new members, Tyrone Burrows, Michael Hudman, and Andy Tyser, and our 2021 Master Entrepreneur, Jay Martin. Now I am pleased to welcome the Chairman of the Board of Directors and President of Duncan Williams, Inc., Duncan Williams.
Thank you, Pearson. Memphis is known for its entrepreneurial spirit, and our history of important business being born and developed here on the banks of the Mississippi is so impressive. Let's look at Holiday Inn, AutoZone, Juice Plus, and FedEx, just to name a few. In 1991, 15 business leaders decided that the entrepreneurial spirit should be honored and encouraged, so they founded the Society of Entrepreneurs. The Society of Entrepreneurs creates, develops, and implements programs that encourage the efforts of entrepreneurs. These programs include the Entrepreneurs Roundtable, the Insights Mentoring Group, the Entrepreneurial Insights Podcast, and of course, our annual award ceremony. We are pleased to share this celebration of the entrepreneurial spirit with you tonight. As Pearson mentioned, since we can't be all together tonight in one room, we are taking advantage of our beautiful city. We are telling the stories of our newest members from beautiful places around the community, including the Dixon Gallery and Gardens, Harbortown, South Main, Germantown Performing Arts Center, and of course, our beautiful Shelby Farms. Our members are chosen annually by their peers and must be experienced entrepreneurs who exhibited personal business achievement, creativity, determination, integrity, leadership, self-direction, and the ability to transform a vision into a dynamic business. Our new members, Tyrone Burrows, Michael Hudman, and Andy Tyser, are great examples of these important characteristics. I want to thank you all for being here tonight, and now please welcome Carolyn Hardy, President of Chisholm Hardy Investments and 2021 Chairman of the Membership Committee. She will share more about the membership in the Society of Entrepreneurs.
Hello, my name is Carolyn Chisholm Hardy. It was my pleasure to serve as the 2021 Chairman of the Nomination Committee. This was probably the most difficult volunteer job that I've ever had. Thank you to the committee members, Bill Courtney, Mike Bruns, Duncan Williams, Mary McDonald, Ron Coleman, David Andrews, and the members of the Board of Directors for their hard work in the selection process. Selecting the new members from the many nominations that we receive annually is truly a challenging task. Members are selected based on several criteria, but in short, those qualifications are risk, vision, and strategic growth. Members must have taken personal risk in starting a new enterprise, had a vision for a new company that they started and built, or they took an existing business and strategically grew it beyond all expectations. I am proud of the work that was done to select these outstanding new members. Congratulations to Tyrone Burrows, Michael Hudman, and Andy Tyser. Now I would like to welcome one of our newest members, Eve Kelly Green, to start the induction process. Thank you.
A year ago, when I was inducted into the Society of Entrepreneurs, it crossed my mind that there are many others who are more accomplished, who have done more, and who have made a much bigger impact than I have. I suspect most of my fellow Society members felt the same way when they were inducted. So when it was time to nominate others for induction into this austere organization, one name came to mind, Tyrone Adam Burrows. As many of you have read in recent months since Tyrone was announced as an inductee, this is a man who has kept himself under wraps. But now you will get to see up close a person who has impacted our community in so many ways, yet is down to earth and one of the most humble people you will ever meet. You will see in his video a man who started with barely anything and now has more than most of us will have in 2 lifetimes. Yet his purpose in life has and continues to be one of service. Service to his community, to his family, his friends, and the high school student or any student who has no money for tuition but desires an education in order to have a better life. Tyrone gives back in so many different ways, just like his diversification of interests and investments. He's into everything. The thing that I love about Tyrone is his commitment to ensuring that others have access to an education, which I believe is one of the most important tools to move our community to its full potential. So I ask that you watch Tyrone's video and be reminded that there are still good people who are doing great things, not for themselves, but for many others and for our community as a whole. Tyrone never misses an opportunity to impact a life. He never has, and I doubt that he ever will. Enjoy.
I knew at an early age that I wanted to own my own business. I lived in Savannah, Georgia, and I worked for a distributing company there. So this young man, Charles Young Sr., out of Meridian, Mississippi, decided that he would recruit me to come to Memphis to run this distribution center. He told me, he said, listen, man, not only that you can be the CEO of this company, you can actually have a piece of the company. Well, so I decided to give up my job in Savannah and move to Memphis to run this business for them. And I worked with that company probably for about maybe several months. But by that time, I had learned a lot about where the business was at, and just knowing that that long-term, chances are the business was just not going to make it. So I struggled with the business for about 2 years, and then subsequently the business actually went under. It's really not about failure. It's about what you learn along the way, and then how you take those things that you learn and then apply it to the next opportunity. First Choice is it's a consumer products management company, and basically what we do is that we manage those manufacturers that don't have a sales force. So we are responsible for taking your goods to market. When you come to us, you literally don't need anything, because we'll do your marketing, we'll do your selling, and we'll even do your invoicing. We'll even collect your money for you if you want to. And the way that I think that we retain our best people is that we literally create a culture by which everybody feels like they're part of one big family. We're one big family. We're there. We help each other. We're there when your kids are born. We're there when your kids graduate from high school and they go off to college. We believe that people are our greatest asset. Without people, we wouldn't be where we are. I think that the thing that gives me the greatest appreciation is that we have been instrumental in either paying for or helping over 100 kids go to college. Everybody who wants to have an opportunity to share in the American dream, you should create the pathway for them to be able to do that. I grew up in poverty, okay? So where you grew up or the color of your skin doesn't have to define what the outcome of your life will look like. If you're willing to put in the hard work, create value, and let people know what your worth is, subsequently it will open up numerous doors and create opportunities for you that you would never realize or recognize that they exist. I literally love what I do, and I work extremely hard at it to be the very, very best. Find your passion, explore it, and then perfect it. Put God first in your life, in your business, pray about it and have faith, and build your business. It is my honor and privilege to be inducted into the Society of Entrepreneurs. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this organization and alongside so many great business leaders who are deeply committed to making a difference here in our community and across this city. I would like to first thank the Lord for his abundant blessing, his expectation for me to share it and to be a blessing for others. I believe that everyone deserves the opportunity to be the very best that they can be. And at the same time, I believe that it's my responsibility to help level the playing field. I also would like to thank Edith Kelly Green for her support and guidance throughout this process. Her leadership story is inspirational, and it literally serves as an example to so many of us about what is possible through hard work and perseverance. Edith, thank you for being a magnificent colleague and supporter. It is also important that I acknowledge my colleagues, team members, and friends and industry partners at First Choice Sales and Marketing Group. I stand on your shoulders, and words cannot express my gratitude for all the hard work and dedication that you exemplify every single day. Recently, I was asked about factors. What factors do I attribute to my success? The answer, without any hesitation, is my wife, Nelda. She has been right along my side every step of the way. She has supported me, advised me, and given me the courage I needed at certain times in our lives. She is my spiritual foundation, and I am beyond blessed to have a life partner that sees the good in the world and wants to serve as a gift from the Lord. We have 3 beautiful children and 5 even more beautiful grandchildren. She is the reason we founded the Burroughs Foundation. Our goal is to work alongside community leaders like all of you to make our community and our world a better place. I sincerely thank all of the sponsors, members of the selection committee, and organizers for hosting this magnificent evening. Again, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this prestigious organization.
I am proud and honored to introduce the youngest entrepreneurs to ever be inducted into the SOE. Andrew Tyser and Michael Hudman are entrepreneurs first class, and their restaurants are now known throughout the entire country. Born and raised in Memphis, Andy and Michael opened the Andrew Michael Italian Kitchen in 2008 to feature innovative Italian cooking rooted in Southern tradition. Neither had turned 30 years old. They borrowed money to do it the old-fashioned way. They borrowed it from their parents. And even more old-fashioned, they paid it back in 6 months. That character and integrity proved to be the very best and most important recipe they would ever create. You see, these 2 young men already had learned that a successful business has many ingredients mixed in different amounts. And as they so eloquently stated to me, making food taste good is easy. They were so mature and so thoughtful of what really makes a business successful. They are ahead of their time then, and they are today. They knew employees were family, and they were the biggest ingredient for success they would ever have. They sincerely care about them, and that concern permeates to the customer as that good-tasting food was served. Their first employee, hired as a server, has been with them since day one, along with several others. And by the way, Nick, that first employee is now the Chief Operating Officer of the entire company. They are proud of that when asked, "What do you enjoy most about your success in business?" They spoke in unison and said, "Watching our team members grow with the company." During the pandemic, while other restaurants were closing their doors and laying off people, they never laid off a single employee, not a one. And only 2 people in the entire organization took pay cuts. Their names were Andy and Michael. When there was a fire last year that burned their second restaurant, Hog and Hominy, down to the ground, once again, not a soul was laid off. The employees were redeployed to one of their other locations. They also knew that staying grounded was an important ingredient, never being a big shot in spite of all the numerous awards and recognitions. Humility is a key to business success. They both stay grounded, and they both have kept each other in check. They both give each other the credit for rekindling their passion every single day. And they each understand that family would always win out when it came to evaluating a successful life. No one can call themselves successful or truly happy if family is not number one. The extra home time they received during the pandemic clearly reminded them that teaching the 6-year-old how to ride a two-wheeler was way more satisfying than a record day of sales at the cash register. And they certainly have had record sales days. You see, these guys are real entrepreneurs. They get it. It is never about making money. The money follows them like it follows all great entrepreneurs. And when it accumulates greater than they ever anticipated, their goal was simple: to share with others and to make Memphis a better city. There are few folks who have ever set up a foundation before turning 40 years old to give back to the community that brought them the very success that they now want to share. The Andrew Michael Foundation financially supports numerous charities, both large and small. They are both also constantly sharing their time and talents to help others raise money to make Memphis a better place to live. Now you know why I'm proud to offer my admiration and congratulations to these young, vibrant entrepreneurs. While the video will now show off their numerous accomplishments in their journey to success, I am honored to have shared their secret recipe and the ingredients they mastered to make it all possible.
I think the way we kind of started our entrepreneurial journey was it really came pretty natural. Most of our love for cooking is really rooted from our grandmothers, and we both come from pretty big Italian families. Every celebration, everything that was good, positive, or bad was always around food. And we just grew up really loving it. Andy and I met about sixth grade. Yeah. And both from Memphis. Born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. And we started talking about opening a restaurant freshman year of high school. So the restaurants, starting with Andrew Michael, was the first one we opened in 2008. First started out, there was 3 of us in the kitchen and 4 servers. Now we have about 8 in the kitchen now. Then we opened up Hog and Hominy.
2012. That was our biggest staff for a long time. I think we had like 50 or so employees there. From there, it was Catherine and Mary's, and then Great Canary,
a little bit bigger,
and then Josephine Estelle, and then Bishop,
8 and Sand,
and
Little Betty.
Yeah.
I mean, not including New Orleans, I think all in all we have around like 200 employees. Instead of counting the number of restaurants, it's really cool to see how many people you employ and how many families you affect. And that's a big decision that weighs on us every day, especially right now in the times that we're dealing with.
It's all about the hospitality for us. Like, we really want to have that feeling of coming into our home and letting us like take care of you. And that was like watching our moms and grandmothers and aunts and uncles do that as friends would come in and have Sunday. Like, it's like,
you came over hungry.
Yeah, like
you learned real quick.
And we get up and go to church in the morning, and then you were there for lunch, and then everyone stayed, and that's when the dads would go watch football or whatever, and the moms would get in the kitchen with Mama and start cooking dinner. So like watching them do that was like really what we fell in love with.
We don't really like to consider Andrew Michael fine dining. I mean, it's definitely nice, but we wanted one style of service. This was the big first mistake we learned. We wanted a style of service at Andrew Michael to be different from Hog and Hominy. And when we opened up Hog, we realized quickly that it has to be the same style of service and let the atmosphere and the attitude of the restaurant change it.
Yeah.
When you put food out, it's art, and art is extremely personal. And no one, you never really like put half the effort out. So every dish that went out is the best dish, and so when people would say they didn't like it, it wasn't that we were upset. We were upset with ourselves. It's a really amazing thing. You get immediate gratification or disappointment after the plate hits the table. And that was something that we were really, it took a lot to learn and how to navigate through it.
It's invaluable. The travel has it's been everything for our growth. And just to understand and see, like, hey, other cities do different things, and we fall in love with aspects and elements of different concepts or restaurants or foods or types of cooking. It's like, hey, Memphis, we can do this. Like, we can bring this back home and do our own version of this.
And there's always somebody in the city that's willing to give advice, which is awesome. I mean,
I think it's Memphian. That's just the Memphis spirit, and like, Memphians aren't afraid to put in the work and do the time to do it the right way.
And they appreciate theirs. Like they're protective of the Memphis businesses. They support the Memphis businesses. You know, it's to say you're from Memphis and you have a business here, and is I think
When we have a chip on our shoulder,
we should.
always.
Our focus now is to open up restaurants to be able to take care of the people that have put us in such a great light. I mean, in no world will we be as successful as we are without the team that's behind us. Hi there, we're coming live from downtown Memphis outside Catherine and Mary's. We just want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for this awesome honor. You know, being an entrepreneur has been a huge focus of our lives. We couldn't do that without our parents, without our wives, and without an awesome support net.
Yeah, our team members across the company, everyone involved has helped us get to where we are. In the 13 years we've been in business in Memphis, we couldn't do it without them.
Everybody that we worked with in the past has had a major part to do with what we're doing now. The support we get from our wives on a daily basis, from our parents who really instilled the value of hard work in us, and getting, you know, and doing it with you.
Your best buddy. Yeah, doing it with I mean, for us to know each other since 6th grade, and be able to go to high school and college and work together every day for the past 25 years. It's been a really special friendship, something we couldn't do without each other, I feel. I mean, I couldn't do it without you, buddy.
No, I don't think I could. I could not. We also want to thank Mr. Bruns. It's been a real honor to get to know you and enjoyed our talks.
Look forward to many more of those, for sure.
You really exemplify what it is to be an entrepreneur. Hard work is...
it's the backbone of it, for sure.
The backbone of it. Specifically, a couple of people we couldn't do it without is Nick Tallarico, Ryan Jenigas, Ryan Radish.
Yeah, they're the core of our management team. They've been with us for pretty much since day one. You know, we learn from them every day. We collaborate on every decision in the company, and they inspire and motivate us on the daily. So special thanks to those guys.
Absolutely, our brothers, our family. I mean, we look at our business as a family, but our immediate family who supported us from day one, helping us make raviolis when Andrew Michael was tiny on Sundays, to now. I also like to thank our kids, Corey and Ellie,
and Drew and Jesse.
You guys really make it. Give us the energy it is every day to do what we do and do it in the right way. And, you know, without you guys, you're a constant inspiration for us. Also want to thank the Memphis chef community. It is one of the tightest, greatest supportive communities anywhere. Every day, and especially through the last year, like Andy was saying with COVID, we've gotten even closer and even tighter. So thank y'all for the support. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for the push and the drive. Without you guys, we wouldn't be where we are either. So special thanks to Chef Jose, our original chef, who always pushes us to be better.
Yeah. And a special thanks to Chef Jose Gutierrez. Aside from our grandmothers and family giving us that foundation and love of cooking, you know, we don't give him enough credit. You know, he taught us our professional palate. And really taught us what work ethic in the kitchen was all about,
and what the word chef meant.
Yeah. It was an honor to be a part of his team for as many years as we were. He's a great guy, and we like to thank him a lot too.
Thank you very much. We like to thank Katie and Carrie for all the endless support they've given us, and last but not least, we'd love to thank the city of Memphis. It's been a real pleasure and honor growing our business, growing our restaurant family in this city. The city has been phenomenal to us, always supportive, and makes us proud to be a part of this city. And I want to thank Andy here.
Well, yeah, thank you too.
Yeah.
Congratulations to our new members, Tyrone Burrows, Michael Hudman, and Andy Ticer. At their best, entrepreneurs embody a dynamic combination of business acumen and civic responsibility. They make a lasting impact on their industries. Thanks to their capacity for self-direction, determination, creativity, leadership, and integrity. They also set an example in the business community by sharing the rewards of their professional success by giving back and by participating in community, charity, and civic leadership. All of the members of the Society of Entrepreneurs share these qualities, but we also like to recognize the best of the best. We do this each spring at our annual awards banquet when we join Junior Achievement of Memphis in awarding the honor of Master of Entrepreneur to the member of the Society of Entrepreneurs, who best exemplifies the full range of characteristics necessary for membership in the Society. Please welcome Lee Mansberg, President and Chief Experience Officer of Junior Achievement of Memphis, who will join Henry Turley in announcing our Master Entrepreneur this year.
Hello, I'm Lee Mansberg, President and CEO of Junior Achievement of Memphis in the Mid-South. It's a privilege to be a part of this celebration of a prolific entrepreneur, Jay Martin. You know, our two organizations, Junior Achievement and the Society of Entrepreneurs, have a lot in common. We both understand that building a successful business from scratch, whether you're a fifth grader or a master entrepreneur, is a mixture of vision, hope, and hard work. More than that, we both know that entrepreneurs are absolutely essential to driving a vibrant economy. We are so grateful that partnerships like this one allow us to plant the seeds of hope and hard work in the next generation and help all children in Memphis and Shelby County see themselves as entrepreneurs. Because when children think like entrepreneurs, they believe they have the tools to solve any problem and change the world. Thanks to our work with the Society of Entrepreneurs, we are raising the next generation of problem solvers, visionaries, and dreamers, and maybe even the next master entrepreneur. Now I'd like to introduce another master entrepreneur, Henry Turley, who was a founder of the Society and is president of the Henry Turley Company. You probably know that Henry is a consummate storyteller, especially about people he knows well. So I'll stand aside and let Henry tell you more about this year's Master Entrepreneur. Thank you again to the Society of Entrepreneurs for your partnership with Junior Achievement and the opportunity to be a part of this important work.
I love the opportunity to honor Jay Martin. He is a real hero of mine, and I hope of all of you all. He has brought so much to Memphis. So I wore my black mask, honoring Jay Martin. I wanted to do it right. My black tie, and I got my black My City Rides bike with me. I have long thought of Clemens Wilson as the quintessential entrepreneur. With Holiday Inn, he pioneered the idea of franchising. And in doing that, he was not only being entrepreneurial himself, but he was saying, you too can do this, and here's how. As I thought of Jay this week, I realized that he's inclined the same way Clemens is. I was fortunate to meet Jay when he first came to Memphis after graduating from University of Georgia, and he rented a little office on Cooper and started a big company. Even then, he called it National Safety Associates. And the reason he called it that is because his company was selling smoke alarms and fire alarms. So it was about your safety. Jay didn't engage professional salespeople. Rather, he got the people that cared the very most about your safety and that of your family, your own friends and neighbors. And they had bought and used the products himself, so you couldn't help but trust them. Jay led that group through a number of products over the years: fire and smoke alarms, water filters, home education system that I believe was called Wings, and finally Juice Plus and Tower Garden. Each one made you and your family smarter, safer, and healthier. It was just rewarding not only to the customer, but also to the person who was introducing you to the product. So it really worked. Jay once told me that he had 15,000, yes, I've said 15,000 partners who had been with National Safety Associates for 10 years or more. That's remarkable. Now, Jay is extraordinarily generous, and he knows there's a season of life, call it, in which you create wealth, and a season in which you reinvest that wealth in your community in a creative way. When that time came for Jay, he didn't just write a check to Boys and Girls Club. He took over that whole facility just east of Lemoyne Rowan College and set up a big job training facility. He said his students who were underprivileged learned quickly, and at one time he told me that each one of them had gotten, each one who had graduated had gotten a job. Some came back, though, and said, Mr. Martin, at our starting salary, we are having trouble supporting, on the one hand, our family, on the other, our car, which we have to get to work. Now, that's getting better with salaries going up. But Jay didn't wait at all. He created My City Rides right here and put them on this economic way to get to work. Let me show you how it works.
Well, I started out at Wake Forest University, or college then, and wound up at the University of Georgia. Don't ask me why. 7 years of undergraduate study, and then taught school for a year so I wouldn't have to go to Vietnam. And I taught world history. So a couple of my friends from Wake Forest and Georgia, about 4 of them, decided to get in the fire alarm business. So we rented a house in Whitehaven. 2 years later, got an office on Cooper for another $200. We had some of our people, basically the ones that were in our product, and they ran into, just in luck, into a nutritional product.
Jay Martin, I think he started his career 50 plus years ago, and the Juice Plus company has been around for about 30, maybe just a little more than that, and he has been quite the visionary. I think he saw something around this fruits and veggie concept before anybody else ever could really imagine that. So the last 30 years with Juice Plus, he has touched a lot of lives, both financially as well as with regard to their health. So Juice Plus basically gives you the opportunity to eat the fruits and vegetables and bridge the gap between what you really should eat in your diet and, unfortunately, what we do eat in our diet. So it's a great way to get a whole food, plant-based nutrition inside this body.
We have about 8,000 health professionals in North America that not only use the product but recommend the product.
As we all know, Jay's a very unique individual, and he's got, an incredible personality. And I've seen him on stage in front of thousands of people. I've seen him in a room with just a few people. But the one thing about him, I think that everybody would agree, is that he really cares about people, and he really cares about Memphis.
When I was in the Boys and Girls Club, I saw some real problems. They graduated. They didn't get a job. So we decided, I built a place down there. I will never forget Henry Turley with me walking down there one time. And I said, Henry, what do you think about this building? Because the Boys and Girls Club actually had that. And he said, well, how about bulldozers?
He saw how the workforce here in Memphis was struggling. They were having to bring in talent from around the country and not being able to develop that talent here. And there was actually a serious risk of a lot of companies leaving Memphis because they couldn't find talent. So that's where he came up with the idea that he had to build this center that we could develop our young people straight out of our traditional boys and girls clubs, and then teach them a skill and then help them get a job.
And I think we've actually put 3,000 into jobs.
Jay Martin is a serial entrepreneur who's been just tremendously successful and has always had a passion for giving back.
Well, the transportation was that we had 4 or 5 good people. They would come in, we would have, they'd have a place to come in, and they'd talk to the kids and all this, and the average was 4.5 hours per day transportation. We're close to 300 people with the scooters, and they get 75 to 80 miles a gallon. They really like it. Parking is not a problem.
I was not a scooter guy or a motorcycle guy, not really necessarily that passionate about transportation. I had certainly volunteered and wanted to give time back and recognize the tremendous opportunities in Memphis to help folks. But it didn't take long at all sitting down with Jay he's got an infectious excitement and energy, and to really get a sense for his, number one, frustration for building workforce development programs and helping people matriculate through those, and then folks not being, getting marketable skills and getting the jobs.
Success is a team sport. It's not an individual sport, it's a team sport. Ours is. Somebody asked me, where did I grow up? And the answer to that is not yet. And when did you start? That was 50 years ago. How did you get started? And the 4 of us were able to come up with $200 to have a rental in Whitehaven. And then we had $200 more to get an office in Cooper. Is Juice Plus still in Tennessee? The answer to that would be kinda. Yes, we are in a certain way, although we have 50 states and 26 countries. What would you have done differently? Let's not even think about that. No, we won't be doing anything different. You got to have a purpose. In our case, it's healthy living around the world that we're doing, and then caring for the people that work with us in those 26 countries as well as here. We have 140 people today that are still working at home, and that's kind of unusual for us. We had no furloughs, and we had one of the best years we've ever had, right in the middle of the COVID. Well, I've enjoyed the society for a long time, and then all of a sudden I was asked to be the master, and it's something that really makes me feel good. but there are a lot of other people that feel good too. I've always said that success is a team sport. It's not just me by any stretch of the imagination. It's a team sport.
I think the biggest quality for a successful entrepreneur is to be a good leader. There's lots of people that have great ideas and they're real smart, but they can't lead the organization. So their ideas fall by the wayside because there was no execution. I don't think you have to be near as smart to be a good entrepreneur as a good leader, because people count on you for your leadership and what direction we need to go, and you have to be steady.
You know, one of the things that helped me was to be focused. I had an idea, and I had seen that one company start up. I saw that they were successful, and I thought, well, that's something I could do. They were in New York, but I said, that's something I could do.
Vision, having a concept and an idea of what you want to do and what it is going to provide, our society. So having a vision, that doesn't mean it has to be all the way through the end. Most entrepreneurs have the start of a vision and then they're opportunistic along the way and build on that.
You got to be flexible, willing to change. Just meet the times. Deal with it every day, straight up. Face the problems. And there are plenty of them out there. But they hadn't gone away, so you can handle them.
What's it take to be an entrepreneur? And I think that's probably the key word there is a passion for what you're doing and a work ethic to be willing to put in the time.
Be ready for an emotional roller coaster. You're going to have highs and you're going to have lows, and hopefully you can deal with both of those because hopefully you'll land up on the high, but you're going to go up and down.
They have to be driven. I mean, it cannot just be a job. It cannot just be an intention or a focus. They have to be driven where I know there are times they probably aren't thinking about their work, but most times, whether they're off work or sleeping at night or on vacation or on the weekends, I mean, they are thinking about what they can do to enhance the future of their organization.
Hard work and determination. Yeah, you need a certain level of creativity mixed in with all of that. But, if you're willing to put the effort and you're determined, you improve your odds tremendously.
Work for some other company first and learn what you think you want to be. So by getting practical experience, of course, on top of that is education.
You have to have passion. You have to have passion around what you believe in, your cause, what you're trying to do, and then you have to have a plan that you can sustain over time. It's very easy to start something. It is very hard to sustain something.
Well, they often say that, being an entrepreneur requires a little bit of craziness, and I think that's true. It's a choice that's not for everyone. You've got to be willing to be objective and analytical. You can't be emotional. You've got to pick a business which has a point of differentiation, and you have to have a business that is differentiated where you can sustain that competitive differentiation. And I think you've got to be prepared to work hard and get good people to work with you, and I think you've got to be dedicated to your business, and that's what it takes to be an entrepreneur.
Some colleges now have courses and majors in entrepreneurship. That's always interested me because I've felt like most entrepreneurs, and many don't even know they're entrepreneurs until they're thrust in that position and they take an idea and they run with it. But I think certain qualities, I don't know that you're born with those qualities, maybe you develop them, through your upbringing and so on. But I think that you have to have certain innate qualities, the competitiveness, the vision, the leadership to really succeed as an entrepreneur.
They have to find the passion. And when they find a passion in themselves and they want to act upon it, that's a powerful. And you're not necessarily born with passion, I don't think, but you discover passion, and that is a powerful, powerful motive.
I just think there's something innate in most entrepreneurs. I think someone can be trained, but they've got to really want to be trained, and they've got to go to school. I mean, I think most of us e-affiliates, we went to school. When we started e-affiliates, we've never stopped going to school. We're constantly reading and talking and learning and asking people questions and trying to find out what are the best ways to help a young person and their families, looking at all the data and research as well as doing our own research. So I think you've got to have that, just an overwhelming sense of curiosity, but also a sense of how you can bring a bunch of different people together that have different ideas to come with one grand plan that's really going to help you fulfill your mission.
Well, I think they can be made. I think you need to, I know from my instance, I was taught a lot of business skills, I was taught concepts, I was taught leadership, I was taught a whole lot of things by everybody that I had the opportunity to interact with along the way. Basically, I'm as they say, part of everyone I met along the way, and it was that training that permitted me to have whatever success I've had.
The greatest reward for me owning my business has been to watch the other people grow and prosper as a result of it. Taking someone who had no idea about our business, they learned the business, they became educated about it, and they reached new heights, not only within the business, but within their own bodies, or within their own selves and their souls, to where they couldn't wait to come to work each and every day because they felt good about themselves as a result of yesterday's productivity.
We're able to give back to the community, and we've, the last 10 years, we've really tried to step up our efforts in philanthropy, and so we've done real well in that area, and it really makes you feel good to do that.
The greatest pleasure I have personally had is to see that our family has been able to operate a business which has brought success for us, but at the same time, wonderful benefits for the city and our community.
If you don't like the Harahan Bridge, if you haven't walked across the bridge, there's something wrong with you. I truly believe it will change our city in powerful ways. There are so many good things about Memphis, anywhere from going to Overton Square to, we love the Levitt Shell.
Well, I think it's probably the great meritocracy in the United States. If you want to try something, you're welcome to give it a shot in Memphis. If you want to get involved in something, you don't have to have a pedigree, you don't have to have an apprenticeship, you just show up.
So Memphis was the big city. Memphis was the big city you came to get school closed in the fall, and it was the place that I felt like I could probably start a career.
You ask why did we start our business here? Because that's where we were. More unusual than not, I knew what I wanted to do when I was at MIT, so I studied exactly what I needed because I always knew I would go in business with my father. And that's when we began the growth of our business as a development company in 1948.
And so we started from scratch in 1979 with our first store, which we called Auto Shack at the time. And of course, Fortunately, our concept for that market was very successful. In fact, it's changed very little over the years, other than we obviously became better at executing the business as we learned more about the business and as we developed more sophistications in our operations. So, I mean, really, that's how, I started AutoZone. Of course, I grew up in the Malone and Hyde, the food business.
And if you want to connect the four corners of the United States, Seattle, San Diego, Boston, and Miami, and speed of 500 miles an hour in a jet airplane, you have to have a central switching location or a central hub. That means there are a relatively small number of major airports in that area that can accommodate an overnight express system like we contemplated. And Memphis had several advantages. First, it was a little bit further west, which fit the range of the airplanes we had at the time, a little bit further south, so the weather was better. Most importantly, we had virtually no fog in Memphis. I think in 40 some odd years of operations, we probably have 3 or 4 nights of fog.
I'm from Memphis, and yeah, I guess we came here when I was in the second grade, so yeah, it's my hometown. As far as transportation and distributing, it's a great location. I mean, I knew that then when I started my business, and I'd been in another business. I'd seen what good service we got out of Memphis on shipments too. So Memphis is a great distribution point. So and then I started about the same time that FedEx started. So then they came around, so that even made it better. So it's been a great city for us.
I want to thank you so much for being with us tonight to celebrate the entrepreneurial spirit in Memphis. It is my pleasure to be a member of the Society of Entrepreneurs. I am personally inspired by the passion, commitment, and tenacity of our members. Starting and growing a business is not for the faint of heart. Congratulations to Jay, Tyrone, Michael, and Andy. Thanks again to our sponsors for making tonight possible. We look forward to seeing you next year, hopefully in person, on Saturday, April 9th, 2022. So mark your calendars.
Get right in front there. There you go.
Oh, hell, I can't catch COVID or anything.
You know,
We're here.
A dynamic, sorry, I gotta start again.
What at the end? Hey, I could have done that. I guess that would have been acceptable.
Famous dude.
The other lead was right on your lapel.
Well, good. That's a good thing. I'm glad it was there. It knew I needed to start over.
Take a breath. Oh.
Go ahead.
I got to stay warmed up, okay? So I don't know you, you don't know me, but we got to stay warmed up. Mike, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Right? Well, I was thinking, wait, is there somebody really naked behind me?
No, he didn't trust me with the charged battery.